It's really got to be drilled.
He's got him on his back.
When we talk about a low single leg,
lightning fast.
In this video, we're going to take a look at some of Thomas Stewart's underhook attacks. He's from Virginia Tech. He's an explosive dude and does some little subtle things before he attacks with his underhook that are pretty nice. So let's take a look. All right, the first thing we're going to look at is one of the ways he gets to his underhook and then one of his options. Pretty simple. He has a really good double leg. So when guys down block it or stop it, he comes right up into his underhook. So here we see him lower his level for his double leg. The guy catches it. This backside hand that's on his leg is just going to come up into his hook. And now he's kind of got his overrun position clearing the other guy's hook, so he has a little more control. And then we'll use this same hand for this first kind of scoring option to snap the guy's head down, especially when they start to bury their head with this head position kind of leaning out over their toes. Takes his hand to the head, gets his chin down, uses hook to also pull down, and then looks for whatever go behind option that he likes. All right, here's another way he gets to his hook. Just classic snap and then punching it in. Here he goes kind of seatbelt, drops into a single leg, and then works through his finish options. Goes to the head here. You know, not a huge fan, but I would imagine this guy is just strong as all get out. So he can probably get guys' heads to their knees pretty often. Really nice snap here. So clears the guy's collar tie off as soon as his hand comes off. He's taking everything toward the mat, and on recovery, punches his hook right in as the guy reaches his arm over. Pretty simple. And then looks to attack right away. Probably looking for, he has a knee pick option over here, which we'll get to, but ends up coming up kind of seatbelt. Has head position on the same side as his hook, which gives pretty good access to the guy's leg here. So he'll just drop both hands to it. Doesn't even have to hit a knee. Pretty standard, pretty simple. And then works through his single leg finish. This is probably my favorite clip. This is a really nice off balance or moving the guy's feet right into his knee pick. Really, really good. So here we see him roll his hook underneath the guy's collar tie. This guy's got collar tie, his elbows out a little bit. So he'll just roll his shoulder in and punch his hook. And he's got good control with an inside tie back here. You know, kind of like the Iranians do, head opposite side a little bit. And then here he's looking to knee pick this back leg. So he's going to step his foot in and then twist this guy in front of him. So as he starts to push with his hook, pull with his hand, and whip his head this direction to get this guy moving, he also bumps him with his hip. You can see his legs on the inside, so that this guy kind of has to float off his hip. A really nice off balance here, and we can see all the weight going to this foot. And then as he finishes his off balance, this elbow, hook elbow's high, and inside tie hand is going to attack this leg. Nice lift, kind of a Turk finish here, hooking that leg. Really, really nice off balance to his knee pick. Here's another knee pick, this time left hand underhook. A little bit different setup / off balance. It ends up in this dogfight position. And if you're going to do underhook stuff, you definitely need to understand your options here. I think that it ends up here a lot, especially if you're attacking like through a guy, because really their only defense is to kind of turn their hips. So you have to understand your dogfight options. Here, we're going to see him. So with his hook on the left, he's going to try and attack the guy's opposite leg. And what we're going to see now that this leg's back, he's going to get it to step forward a little differently than his hip off balance. Just a small back step and then straight through, right? So we're going to see his foot step back, get this guy to step forward just a little bit, and then take everything toward that knee. We see him attack that knee with his right hand and then drive through. Here's another knee pick attempt. And this one we're going to take a look at his hands. He ends up in this kind of weird spot, ends up not being able to finish. It gets stalemate or they go out of bounds or something. But here we see he's got hook with his right hand. But what I really like is that he lifts and then jams his left hand into hook, knowing that this leg's in front, right? So this leg's really far back, so he's going to attack this one, but he's got to get hook in on that opposite side. So we see him lift, jam his hook, takes his drive step, and then starts to attack this far leg. And again, ends up in kind of a weird spot. Guy steps over his back. But I really like what he did with his hands in order to attack the leg that was in front. Here we're going to see another attack, different than his knee pick, but really solid attack. So again, he'll jam his hook from the guy's collar tie, just slides that hand underneath, and then we see head on the opposite side or on top, right? And then again, looking to attack that lead leg, and here he's going to roll his head underneath as he lifts his elbow to create a window for his knee pull. So we see him take his inside step, really good direction with his feet here, so he can move the direction the guy's going. Don't want his toe pointed away from the guy, want it pointed towards him. You see that elbow high, other hand reaching for the leg. It's his knee pull. All right, take a look at this head roll real quick. So as he starts to create that window and shift the weight, head rolls underneath the guy's chin, straight to that leg, and then works through his finish options. I mean, I had to include this one, right? It's really nice. So here we see, I think his opponent has an underhook on this far side. He's going to put his own underhook in on this side, right? Now, shoulder position's pretty good. It's pretty much below the guy's collarbones. Takes his initial step in with his left, and then second step in with his right to get the guy falling over him. As this guy starts to fall over, he changes his direction and turns toward his overhook side. We see this guy try and get his arm out to try and get a post over here in hopes that he won't go to his back, but this overhook's really tight, making it difficult to not go to his back. All right, we see his foot is way behind, so there's no post in this direction. Hits his shoulders and then gets the fall. Here's an option for when the guy pummels in and gets his own double unders. We see Stewart go double overs and then inside trip. All right, so we see guy pummeling in, gets double underhooks. Stewart locks his hands underneath and starts to kind of retreat backwards a little bit in order to get the guy kind of battling his weight back behind him instead of leaning over top. All right, so, and then he's timing, I imagine, since it's where his head's at, you can probably see the guy's feet. I imagine when he sees this foot step forward, that's when he's going to go for his inside trip. All right, so he's watching the guy's feet. This guy takes his step forward, and I mean, this foot being in front of his knee is not ideal for balance, especially if he's going to try and take him backwards. All right, so we see him turn his back foot sideways and then push hard off that back foot, hopping that front leg in. Wraps. Listen, not the cleanest inside trip, but still is able to block and hook this guy's leg to get it off the mat, and continues his forward momentum, pushing off that back leg, gets the guy to hit the mat, and then follows it up with grabbing the guy's legs. All right, so not the cleanest, but still decently effective. Ends up scoring this position, I'm pretty sure.